Alright guys, welcome to the show. Today's episode is all about straps. It's about slipping and it's about the debacle that goes on. We see a lot of people debating whether we should just be going straight to straps, whether we should get rid of straps. We've seen the WAL try to fix the straps. We've seen lots of talk about straps and slipping. And I wanted to clarify for you guys what the WAF rules are on slipping, explain how to apply those rules to the match, and just give my general opinion on whether we think this sport should be in the straps, out of the straps, slips and losing positions, all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to start by clarifying for you what the WAF rules are, which is what we all should be going by in all honesty. So there are three main rules when it comes to slipping and determining whether it is a legal slip or an illegal slip, and subsequently should a foul or a loss even be awarded. So listen up. The referee will award a foul if you lift your fingers off your opponent's hand prior to slipping. Sounds pretty basic. We see lots of top rollers doing this, letting go, running, and they get their thumbs caught sometimes. Sometimes they get out. Matt Mask does it. Devin Larratt does it. A lot of top rollers do it. Pretty much all top rollers do it. Anyway, next one. If you close your fingers in as to make a fist inside your opponent's hand. So instead of taking a grip over the back of their hand, you bunch your fingers up and try to pull through underneath. Another foul there. And the final one is you are in a break wrist position and you pull your fingers inside your opponent's hand, therefore you are unable to hold the grip. Now, if you just stop reading the WAF handbook right there, you'd be like, hang on a second, every single slip that ever occurs needs to be called a foul, which obviously doesn't happen. Now, when you ask yourself, do slips happen intentionally? Are they accidental? Let me clarify for you that every single slip on the planet has a degree of intent in it. Someone feels like they're about to lose and they bail. Always. Sometimes both people don't want to take the chance and they both bail off the start. But there is always someone intentionally slipping. Just clarify that. Now, you do need to keep reading. You can't just stop right there on the three main rules, because there is a little kind of asterisk in paragraph 8.5.1 of the WAF handbook. Okay, it says officials must be certain of the circumstances that precede the slip out. If there is any uncertainty as to who caused the slip out, straps will be applied and no foul will be given. So that is obviously a very grey area that exists, that is basically the reason why all slips, or the majority of slips, end up going to straps, even though you could technically say, hey, one person broke the rules in one of those first three rules. You have to be confident, you have to be certain. If there is any uncertainty, the referee must go to straps and not award a foul. So let's just break that down. So someone in a flop wrist position, obviously they're breaking a rule. Sorry, Jerry Cadorette, sorry, Lars Rabakin, you're breaking a rule. But is there certainty that they were the only ones that weren't holding on? No, the top roller may have eased up their fingers to let that flop press slide on through. So I guess an element of doubt, an element of uncertainty there from the referee means that, we'll let that one go into straps, no foul. The other thing is this. So obviously, look, those rules, the combination of the rules and uncertainty, it's pretty great. I think that there's always certainty. You can always tell who is the person who wanted to slip. So if we were to go by the letter of the law, we should be fouling people out all the time. But that would kill the sport, so that's not what the right answer is. The next thing I want to talk about is losing positions. Okay, a lot of people talk about slips and losing positions. A lot of tournaments call any slip that happens in that bottom 2/3 of the arc a loss to this person. I've personally taken losses where I took hand control and the person flopped and boom, slip happens an inch off the pad and they say winner to the person with a flop wrist. Okay, that's really, really quite wrong. Okay, the way that losing positions are supposed to be refereed is this. Keep in mind, here's the rules from the WAF handbook. If a slip happens more than 2/3 the way to the pin, it is an automatic loss. Let's keep reading. Only if it was an intentional slip. Okay, only if it was an intentional slip, i.e., did the slip happen because of one of these three rules? Did the person open their hand? Did they ball their fist up? Or did they pull out with a broken wrist? If none of those three things happen, it doesn't matter if the slip happens 1 centimeter off the pad. If I am still holding on and it's my opponent who breaks their wrist and goes to a flop or something like that, it can happen 1 millimeter above the pad. That is not a loss. Ladies and gentlemen, that is actually a foul on the person on the offense going by the letter of the law. And that person can be fouled, even if it's right down there, okay? So if the person is in the bottom 2/3 of the arc, please, referees out there, do not foul that person if the slip happens there, unless they are breaking one of the rules that we mentioned earlier. Okay, so that's the whole clarification of slipping rules. What are my thoughts on just the straps in general? Okay, I think that when you're up against an opponent who's of balance with you, equal sort of force involved, which at the end of the day, that's what arm wrestling's about. It's about taking on opponents that are at a similar level to what we are right now. When we're against someone like that, it's very, very rare to be able to stop that person from getting to the straps, should they want to end up there. There's kind of a few things in the sport that you can't really stop someone from getting. I think you can't force someone to preload with you with pressure if you want. You also can't stop someone from getting to a ref's grip if they want. And the third thing is you essentially can't stop someone from getting to straps if that's what they want. There are rare circumstances, but 99% of the time, if someone wants to go to straps, that's where they will end up. Now, the strap, sure, the buckle, whatever. People like to whinge about the buckle. We've got the Ferro strap now, so it is a symmetrical strap. But no doubt, having the buckle on your side and having that tightening happening just on your side will lower your webbing down a couple of millimeters. Deal with it, is what I say. Deal with it. It's not that bad. Deal with it and just, get over it, basically. But my opinion on the sport with straps is that, look, let's embrace straps. I can't stand when I hear people say let's get rid of the strap and it should be starting in a hook or something like that. That's a terrible idea. I like the idea of let's just embrace the strap. I would happily pull a strap-only tournament. That's no dramas with me. But I also don't want to get rid of the purity of arm wrestling outside because if you're good enough to dominate someone's hand outside, you should be given the opportunity to do that. So I think the fix is just to basically understand these rules better. I think the application of these rules have been pretty poor from many referees at tournaments. Tournaments I've been involved in as well. Like errors happen all the time. I think that referees need to get their head around the crux of those rules. Understand that if there is particularly the losing position side of things, nothing worse than having complete hand control and being told you just lost the match because the offensive guy dumped his wrist and slipped an inch off the pad. Okay, if you're not breaking those rules, put it in the straps and let's get on with it. We want to see people pin people to the pad. We don't want matches going out on fouls, particularly slipping fouls. Keep your elbow on the pad, arm wrestle as hard as you can, and let's find out who the better arm wrestler is. If it's in the straps, fair enough. If it's not, all good as well. Anyway, guys, I hope that clarifies for you the strapping rules, the slipping rules, and look, let's embrace the strap. Let's keep the strap as it is. Let's never change the strap because it is a part of the sport, and it is a fantastic part of the sport. There's more technique, there's different technique involved in pulling in the strap as compared to pulling outside. So we don't want to change the fabric of the sport, so let's keep it the way it is, and let's just get our referees understanding the rules a little better. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. See ya.